At this point in the offseason, there's not really all that much happening on a day-to-day basis, but with a few months still ahead of us before the new season begins, you best believe a lot is still going on behind the scenes. There are still a few major storylines that have yet to be resolved, there are still notable free agents without new contracts, and there are still some big names that could end up getting traded. And the last one is what brings us to today's video. Today we will be taking a look at an article written by popular sports outlet Fadeaway World, where they proposed 3 blockbuster trade ideas, and as always, we'll be going through each one, analyzing whether or not the trades make sense, why or why not the teams involved would want to go through with it, and who would benefit the most from them if they were to happen. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but it also very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first proposal from the article is between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics, where the Celtics receive Anthony Davis in exchange for Derek White, Anthony Simons, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. The Celtics have been forced into a corner this offseason as the result of Jason Tatum's unfortunate injury, and with him out for the year, the team realized they didn't have much of a chance to contend at the highest level until he's back. Because of that, they viewed this summer as the perfect time to get ahead of some of their declining veterans' waning play by dumping their contracts in order to create some much-needed flexibility for the future. Trading away Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis accomplished just that, and the Celtics are now willing to tank for a year, hoping to uncover a few hidden gems, and then explore their options next summer when they'll have more money to spend, along with anticipating the return of Jason Tatum. But what if they didn't have to wait that long to find the answer to getting them back to the top of the East? That's basically what this trade proposed represents, as the ability to pair Anthony Davis with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown immediately shoots the Celtics right back up to the top of the Eastern Conference and dominates on both sides of the court. Sure, it would hurt to see Derek White go after he blossomed as a member of the Celtics and played a big part in their 2024 title, but this would open up more of a role for Peyton Pritchard to continue his steady improvement in the starting lineup now, and quite frankly, the upgrade to Anthony Davis is worth the sacrifice. Now, the same cannot be said for the Dallas Mavericks side of the trade though. Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison literally just risked his entire reputation and his career by trading away Luka Doncic, who was beloved by the entire city of Dallas, in exchange for Anthony Davis. Whatever you think about that trade, the deal is done, and now the team has to stand 10 toes deep down on it to see it through. If the Mavericks were to then immediately abandon that plan because of the fact that they were blessed with the ability to draft Cooper Flagg, it would actually be an unthinkable decision that could get him fired. I understand that White would be the perfect plug-in to fill the void left by Kyrie Irving in the backcourt, and then when Irving returns from his ACL tear, he and Derek White could seamlessly play alongside each other, but this just isn't enough value to come close to landing Anthony Davis. Anthony Simons is on an expiring contract and likely wouldn't even be re-signed long-term by the Mavericks, and one first-round pick isn't exactly making up much ground for a two-way superstar in today's league, where star players get traded for returns that include at least 3 or 4 of those picks. If this were to actually happen, the Mavericks would be involved in 2 of the most ludicrous trades of the last few years, and I just don't see that happening. The next proposal from the article is between the San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers, where the Spurs receive LeBron James in exchange for Devin Vassell, Julian Champagnie, Kelly Olynyk, and 2 first-round picks. LeBron has been the talk of the town over the last few weeks, with some eerie remarks made by his agent about how LeBron will want to do what is best for his career in these final few seasons that he has left, and with the Lakers currently preparing to start building around Luka Doncic, a lot of people are putting 2 and 2 together, realizing that LeBron may not be in LA much longer. The Spurs are pushing a lot of their chips in on speeding up their process and getting themselves into the playoff mix, with Victor Wembanyama being so good so so soon, and while they do currently have a rotation capable of taking a leap this year, there are definitely some valid concerns that they may be a piece away from actually being able to make any noise in a loaded Western Conference playoff picture. LeBron, even at his age, still has enough left in the tank to be a driving force on a team with lofty aspirations. He just averaged 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, shooting the ball 51% from the field and 38% from 3 as a 40-year-old, so if that's washed, then most of the league is washed. That's the type of production that a guy like Devin Vassell will never reach. After Vassell's dip in production across the board last season, the Spurs would likely also be more open-minded to shopping his contract if they don't view him as a lock to be a part of their core long-term, and the experience that Victor Wembanyama would get playing next to the greatest player the league has ever seen would definitely pay dividends to his growth as a young superstar. Even for the Lakers side of this trade, I find myself liking it more than I thought I would. The truth is that LeBron is still LeBron, but in a world where he's open to leaving, he's going to get his way. He's also on an expiring contract and over the age of 40 years old, so expecting a treasure chest of a haul in return for him just isn't very realistic. This is probably as good of an offer as the Lakers would get for him, with Vassell slotting in very nicely next to Luka Doncic in the lineup, and the team would bank on him being able to bounce back shooting the ball after Vassell had a down year last year, plus Vassell's perimeter defense is an immediate upgrade over the other wings on the team. A lineup of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Devin Vassell, Rui Hachimura, and DeAndre Ayton isn't even that bad of a starting point to build off of either, and by getting 2 additional first-round picks coming in the near future, they can continue to reload for the long haul. I'm not sure if things will actually get to the point where LeBron moves this offseason, but if they do, the Spurs have a strong motivation to try to make something like this happen. And finally, the last proposal from the article is between the Golden State Warriors and the New Orleans Pelicans, where the Warriors receive Zion Williamson in exchange for Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, and 2 first-round picks. The Warriors have been the quietest NBA team of all so far this offseason, literally making 0 moves this summer, with, at the time I'm making this video, 0 free agency signings and 0 trades made. The Jonathan Kuminga situation continues to drag on, and word on the street is that Al Horford is going to sign when that clears up, but overall, they're not exactly being very aggressive, trying to maximize their new duo of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. This trade right here would be as aggressive as it gets, and it's so high risk, high reward that I actually can't tell which way I would go here. Draymond Green's entire existence is polarizing, with his ability to run his mouth exceeding anybody else's in the league, and his personality being a bit abrasive to some. Plus, he's been at the heart of some inner turmoil with teammates, but yet he's also been absolutely essential to this franchise's success over the past decade. Draymond's defense may still be as sharp as ever, but offensively, he's still not a consistent threat from the outside, and with Jimmy Butler on the team, the ball is going to be in his hands a lot less, which is where he's excelled as a playmaker at the very least. If the Warriors really want to go all in, then Zion Williamson presents the ultimate swing for the fences play. We all know Zion's injury history is tough to overlook, and his time in New Orleans hasn't been anything like we hoped it would be, but on a team like Golden State, where he wouldn't need to be the face of the franchise and #1 option, I think he could be fully unlocked. When Zion has been on the court, he's been an absolute beast, having just averaged 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists per game last year, and he's one of the best paint scorers the game has seen since Shaquille O'Neal. The Warriors were ranked in the bottom half of the league offensively last season, which is inexcusable for a team that built their success on the offensive end. So by replacing Draymond with Williamson, that's just about as big of an offensive boost as you can get. For New Orleans, they're a team that, according to several reports, have a pretty bad culture building there. They need a leader to set them in the right direction, and you can call Draymond Green a lot of things, but you can't say he doesn't know how to set the tone for a winning team. It feels like Zion Williamson's value has dipped just enough because of the injuries that he wouldn't command a massive offer to get him either, so the combination of Draymond, Podziemski, and 2 first-round picks would likely pique the Pelicans' interest. And again, I don't think it's out of the question for either side to go through with this given their circumstances. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about these proposed trades. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.